Welcome, everybody, to the Mansfield Buzz.
Welcome to Mansfield Buzz with Jordan and Hurley. Local business stories, let's dive in early. Jordan asks the questions, brings stories to light. Hurley runs a tech, keeps production tight. Build trust in a town, discover and explore hidden gems and stores you never heard before. Community connection, that's what we're about. Tune in, join us, see what Mansfield's all about.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Mansfield Buzz. We are on every Thursday, but I'm going to change that a little bit. We were on every Thursday.
Yep.
So Jordan and I made a decision to change to Texas Buzz, but we're just going to throw a bunch of stuff out today, get some discussion going for you guys when you come back on the On Demand and tell you what we're thinking. But we do want to welcome you to the Mansfield Buzz. And I'll tell you what, you can find us on this YouTube channel at YouTube. I believe it's youtube.com, Mansfield Buzz or MansfieldTXBuzz.com. Yeah, go check it out. Subscribe to it. It's doing really well. It's a great local channel, but things grow.
We're getting ready to grow and expand.
We're growing and expanding for a reason. And Jordan and I are so connected at the hip with both working on marketing side. Of course, he's got a lot more to push out with all he does on the social media side, platforms and video. Me, I'm just strictly a consultant. He's an agency, but we work a lot of the same things, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're kind of always experiment at the cutting edge on AI. And we just figured that maybe people want to see how some of these tools actually work, because if you don't understand them, it's tough.
Yeah. And not just if you don't understand them, but also
how
if
to
you don't
use
know how
them.
to put them like to work at your business, because most people using AI right now are just using a chatbot.
Yeah, or they're just typing something in for search, but they don't realize there's tools there to make your, to actually do some tasking, like that slideshow I was showing you I created the other day. So anyhow, we're going to start with how grateful we are. Well, let's go to the icebreaker. You said you're going to ask me something, and I don't even know what it is. But he's going to surprise me, and this could be bad.
So we'll be right back with some icebreakers.
We'll be right back, yeah.
One thing you guys can tell is you got a sub plugged into it. We have a full subwoofer system here, so when
we do,
we play these intros, the room shakes.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty cool, though.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you feel it going through you, which is awesome.
I don't know about my neighbors, but
they're fine.
Yeah, they should be awake by now.
You have a car that does the same thing, even louder.
My car's even louder. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So icebreakers, and now you're on the hot seat this time, so I get to ask you some cool questions.
All right.
So for an icebreaker, you were talking about AI, and quite frankly, it seems like there's new stuff every day, and actually there is. So what is new in AI today that was not there yesterday?
Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Now, I don't think it's launched yet on everything, but I was on my desktop the other day, and I read an article on Search Engine Journal, or one of them. I have about 100 I follow, right? And I just kind of try to piece everything together. I went to Google Maps and hit the little hamburger navigation tool at the top.
Yeah.
And the first thing it did is popped up a square basket, said Ask Maps.
Just prompted you to ask a question.
So it gave me a prompt and said, search whatever you want. It gave me some hints. Search for restaurants, search for groups of things, search for businesses, whatever. So I did a search, and I said, okay, so I went and talked to this real estate company yesterday. So I typed in, I said, show me the location and tell me a little bit about them.
Wow.
And it spilled out the whole thing. It gave me an overview. It gave me links. It gave me directions and everything. So think about the ramifications.
Well, yeah. And especially
of how Google's tying that all together.
Yeah. I don't know, but people get to like their locations differently and navigate things differently. For me, I don't search Google as much as I search Google Maps when I'm searching.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so when I'm looking for restaurants or different stores, or just when I go to a new area, when I travel, I go to Google Maps and I start searching in there. So now that you can actually ask it, and I'm so trained now to talk to my technology because I talk to ChatGPT, I talk to Gemini, I talk to Claude.
All of them.
Not that big of a stretch now to talk to Maps and ask
Right.
like, hey, what's the best brokerage around, or what's the best Thai restaurant for me to eat at?
Yeah, and even deeper than that, think about now my main concern was,
Mhm.
okay, so if that's the case, if you can ask Maps, what does that do for a herdy guy that consults out of his home that has a hidden home address? So what do I need to do to get incorporated in this? So I started doing some research.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And I'm guessing,
Yeah.
so there's somewhat of a guess here, but based on what Gemini's been showing me, some strategies, it's saying make sure in reviews on Google Business that the coach your review person that's reviewing you to mention the service and the location. And then if you don't get that, when you reply back, say, thank you for doing this service at this
Whoa.
location, so that when you start typing in like Hurdy-Burke Consulting in Mansfield, you started to locate yourself because you're a service area business.
That's
Does
awesome.
that make sense?
Yeah, so you're hijacking
so
the search.
yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, and let me harken back to something that you told us in the show. I want to say almost like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You were right on it when Google started indexing the reviews.
Yes.
So that's where they're pulling that data from. So if your reviews have like location relevant data,
Right.
it's coming right out there.
And I am even being told by just about every search engine, whether it's SEO Clarity, Search Engine Journal, whatever, all these places I follow, Gather Up, all these places I research, that if you weren't active on your Google business profile and you don't have hardly any reviews, you're basically going to be invisible and you're going to have to catch up because things are being pulled from the snippets, right?
Okay. Yeah. So this is important. What about businesses that have recently either gone independent or have, for whatever reason, had to take up a new Google address and they don't have any reviews? They might have been established for a little while, but they don't have it.
Bill, I think we have a person in our group I work with. I won't mention his name, but he had to first get ownership of the profile, and immediately I constructed him. Yes, posting's important, but you've had past reviews. But when he took over ownership, he lost those, so he's gone back and he's piling them up. So I told him most important thing you can do is get reviews from customers, location, mapping. You know, from the standpoint of here's how you helped me in Mansfield, here's how you helped me with this in Arlington. So get those reviews.
For people watching, if you're at a point where you don't have reviews and you've had past customers, it's in their best interest to reach out to those customers and ask for a review.
And you got permanent links within the Google business profile that you can share, or a QR code. So there's no excuse. I'm going to use a Sam line here.
Yeah.
No excuse.
Okay. What would be an easy way for them to, like, do you think maybe hopping on ChatGPT and telling it, hey, I need to get reviews from previous customers. Can you help me draft an email?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's critical, rather than just send them the link and say, review me, get a nice paragraph constructed that's, that you've written, you get help, but then go back and put your own words to it. Right. Yeah. And then use that as kind of and then personalize it every time you send it to somebody with their name and stuff, but at least get a paragraph why you're asking them. And I think what people need, and I think you're getting ready to do this, is one thing Jordan and I have been discussing is we thought, being the Texas Buzz, we could really start showing people how to use these tools.
Yeah. You're getting a preview of what the Texas Buzz is going to be all about. So I love that you said this. Let's do it live. So I am opening ChatGPT.
Right. Or Gemini. ChatGPT for you because you like it.
But you like Gemini?
Either one. It doesn't matter.
So actually what I'm doing right now is screen recording.
That's right. I forgot.
On the replay,
Jordan and I go back and we record everything, then we put it into
this is how you create content right here. You're seeing this
exactly.
Live. So you have a perfect piece of advice. And so I'm going to open Gemini. And so now I have the screen for Gemini open. And so we have a business that has no reviews. Now we know that getting those reviews is pivotal because even Google Maps is indexing this. So then I'm going to select the microphone feature. Hey, I have a business that's been operating for a while. However, I had to get a new business profile on Google and I have no reviews. Help me draft an email asking my previous customers to give me a review on my Google profile
Perfect.
to help me appear in these new searches. Ideally, also give me a recommendation to give to them for the format they should fill it out in. So it's a lot easier for them to give me that review.
Perfect. That's how I prompt it.
Let's see what it gives us.
It's probably going to be really good.
It's thinking. It's
Well, it does
defining the
think.
scope. It's now eating cookies.
You're
Here's
almost
a draft
there.
you can send to your previous customers. It clearly explains the situation without sounding desperate, provides a direct link, and offers a frictionless way for them to write the review. Subject: a quick favor to help us grow / Mercurius Media.
Oh, even
Hi,
knows my business.
customer name. I hope you're doing well, and that mention a brief detail about their business / project, if possible, is thriving. I'm reaching out because I recently had to set up a brand new Google business profile for Mercurius Media, which unfortunately means we are starting from scratch with 0 reviews. Because local searches rely so heavily on past customer experiences, I was hoping you might be willing to take 60 seconds to share a bit about your experience working with me. You can leave a review right here. Insert direct Google review link.
Now, I can go ahead and tell you that is a really long email. People are not going to listen to or read that. But here is the total hack. Excellent. Now do that, but with half as many words.
And it's going to refine it. Yeah. Because it doesn't be a long paragraph, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Isn't this interesting that you're able to ask this, and we can respit this out through your mic on the live?
Yeah. I love that you guys can hear this. So now it's refining shorter draft.
Subject: quick favor to help Mercurius Media. Hi, customer name. Hope you're doing well. I recently had to set up a brand new Google business profile for Mercurius Media, meaning I'm starting from scratch with 0 reviews. I'd be incredibly grateful if you could take 60 seconds to share your experience working with me to help us show up in local searches. Insert direct Google review link. If you aren't sure what to write, a quick sentence on the challenge we helped you with, e.g., website, marketing strategy, and the final result is perfect. No pressure if you're too busy, but your support means a lot. Best, Jordan Ahoof, Creative Director.
Yeah, now
Mercurius
you got
Media.
to change that because you got to see what it does to Hurdy.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
you think that's bad?
It's spelled correctly. It just doesn't know how to pronounce
doesn't
it.
it doesn't either, does it? My name's Hot.
Yes. But there it goes. Now we have the draft. Right? Now it's important to remember that Hurdy said it's important to include location, right? Because location data needs to show up on those.
Yeah, and I would take out anything that sounds like AI in that, like best practices. Kind of put your own words back in that paragraph so it's more personalized. But this just saves you a ton of time having to write the whole paragraph.
Yeah.
What took 2 minutes or 5 minutes would take you 30 minutes if you had to task it through Google Drive or go to Word document, write it, save it. It's a tool.
Yeah.
And that's important. Now I'm going to give you one more hint what people should do on their reviews.
Okay.
You should coach your customers before you leave to get a picture with them and then send it back to them when you send the review and ask them to post that with the review.
Oh.
So take a picture when you finish the service with them, send it back to them when you send them the review and say, there's a picture below. Would you please include that in the review? So you're getting an image posted with the review. I did that for a local massage place. And I did it 2 years ago because I'm a local guide. And I posted the picture with the review of how cool the place was. 75,000 views.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I should have gotten $1 a review.
Right.
Or $1 a view.
That's a really good point too. You would not believe the amount of reach the images that you post on Google, the Google reviews does.
Yeah.
So if you have clients that come in, and especially if they know their way through technology, or they're photographers or they're good content creators, ask them to take a picture and post it in the review.
Yeah.
It
makes a huge difference, and it helps with the location. But yeah, so
Speaking of that too, I was I'm not as fancy on Google as Herdy is,
yeah, but you're fancy on a lot of other stuff.
but I do take good pictures. I do take good pictures, so I wanted
take-
to call it out here because I think Bell's Craft Kitchen. I like my son loves their grilled pork spring rolls. Took a picture of it. I don't know if you guys can see it here.
Yep.
12,000 views. I took a picture
Yeah.
of their or the pho, and that one is like a picture of their pho because we love it there. Bell's Craft Kitchen. Shout out, delicious.
And I'm pretty sure, Jordan,
43,000 views.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure when you're posting that and connecting what we call dots between all the platforms, right? That you're getting some helicopter view down on all that to help everything, right? Yeah. So, you get help from the Instagram, you get help from the Facebook, and, you're not only seeing AI overviews incorporated, they're incorporating some other stuff too. So, yeah. So, and, views are sizzle, but they're good sizzle.
Yeah, I mean,
because they're images of a real product or service from the location.
Yeah, and there's a difference in between. Like I'd say, views are weighted differently based on platform,
and they are
views
even
on
video,
your Google Business,
even video. So how long it's watched.
Oh, but like for example, views on your Google Business profile much more important than views on your Instagram page.
Yeah, but they're different because Instagram can get a real huge amount of views because it's a very large platform. A lot of people use it.
Yeah.
So I would say that the views on YouTube on that might be a little bit.
Oh, I mean on your Google profile.
Yeah, Google profile, and that's where I would put it. Right, I would share a link from YouTube right back over to in the post.
Yeah. So for you guys watching, like quick hint here. And this works really well because of like the two spaces that we use. Like Herdy, you're an expert in the Google space and the YouTube space. And on the Google profile, what I tell everybody is, I work on the Meta platforms, on the LinkedIn platforms, Google, but more in the Google Ads platforms, TikTok ad platforms, like all that. And that is mass distribution. That's expensive. Like it's an expensive playground. The place where I don't care which level you are on a business, that is going to be the best bang for your buck because it's really the only cost you have is operations cost is your Google profile. Yeah,
it's and no telling where this is all going to go with the map thing now because they just keep making it more interactive. And since we know now that Google is literally using the snippets, pieces of different parts of the reviews.
Yeah.
The reputation thing goes back to what we called that EAT, EEAT. Let me tell her what it is: expertise, experience, authority, and trustworthiness.
Hang on, so expertise,
experience, authority, and trustworthiness. And I'm now hearing Google and even ChatGPT, because ChatGPT kind of looks at the entity of things when it's doing an overview, right?
Yeah.
Google can be very specific because they got all that data.
Yeah.
So it's kind of two different things. And I would tell people, since we're talking about this, to go ahead and make sure your Bing profiles are in order. Because remember, ChatGPT pulls a lot from Microsoft, and you might as well go over and build a Bing profile because all you have to do is go to Bing and it imports your Google profile.
Yeah.
So
you guys hear that? ChatGPT, everybody wants to rank on LLMs.
We're giving you $5,000 worth of consulting advice right here today.
He's giving you the sauce. Go set up your Bing profile because ChatGPT.
Maybe we should be careful. Hire us first. No,
nah, we don't get.
No, we do this because we like to help small, medium businesses, right? Kind of understand that they can really help themselves. And I always like what you said, so I'm going to fire a question back at you. You have a great story from the Bible about David and Goliath.
Oh, yes.
And I would love for you to put that analogy or that story back into today, how you use it when you're doing a presentation or marketing, because it's really impressive.
Thank you.
Go through the whole detail too. Okay.
I'll give you the whole spiel.
Right.
And this is probably the reason why I do what I do. It's that powerful for me. We all are familiar with the story of David and Goliath, and what's really interesting is, David was this tiny kid and Goliath was a giant, but yet he was able to slew him because he was given the power to do so. There is like records now being unearthed that point to this actually being a factual story.
Yeah.
This actually happened.
Yeah.
There is military records with a Goliath listed, and in his military records is listed that he was around 7'4". So he was a giant, especially in the time where everybody like being 5 foot was rare. Most people are on the force.
Exactly.
And this guy was 7 feet tall. He was so big he would use a long sword as a sword, and he was reportedly able to cut down a tree with a single swing. So this was the equivalent of a tank in
Coming
human
at you.
form. Yes, he was just formidable. He was just a formidable enemy. Now, David, on the other hand, I think he was like 5 foot at best. But they did a mineral analysis on the area where this area supposedly took place, and there is an interesting. It's a high concentration of iron on the soil, particularly in the stones. So when you go around there and pick up pebbles, they feel almost like bullets. They're really dense and heavy. So then they study. It's like, all right. So David showed up with a sling. What was the sling? It's like, well, it used to be a hunting weapon. It's like, how accurate was it? An accurate slinger was able to shoot down a bird mid-flight. So, I mean, that's a pretty accurate weapon.
Yeah, a lot of practice.
They're like, all right, so they can hit stuff really well. But let's see, if David was 5 foot, the sling, they even did the calculations. The sling would have been up around like, you would have had like, I think a 4 foot piece of sling folded in half was like a 2 feet meter. With a stone about this big and spinning at so many revolutions per second, he could put the stone anywhere he wanted. But what is the stopping power and the range of a sling? Well, they did ballistic calculations on this sling, and at a 30-foot radius, this sling has the stopping power of a Magnum pistol.
There you go.
So Goliath, the 7'4" giant with a sword, his swing, the power to chop a tree down in half, like that's how powerful this foe is. He showed up with a sword to a gunfight.
Yeah.
He never stood a chance.
Right. And boom, he went.
Yes. Now, what I love about this story is I think things like history has an echo. And now we're sitting in a space where we are old Davids. And we live in a society full of Goliaths. There are those giant conglomerates that have the resources to chop trees down in a single swing. But now we've been given slings. Social media and AI have given us capabilities that far outweigh what giants can accomplish.
There you go.
So everybody now holds a sling, and you can take down your own Goliath because they have swords. You have slings.
And Jordan, you can ad-lib a little bit more on this, but that also, when you say that story and I start thinking at the marketing from our level, right? Lean and mean. Things can get done faster.
Yes.
Tasking can get done faster, right? There's not the big red tape stair step up. We got to get this approved from up here on the ivory tower before we start throwing stuff out there. We can make that decision right where we're sitting.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Which is part of that story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from a marketing standpoint, when you go into a business that's never really had what you're doing for some of these, I'm not going to name them. You can name them if you want, but what did they react like when they can see how quickly things can change? Because they're probably not used to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're kind of stumbling around in the dark.
Yeah. Well, it's really funny. The first thing is just how quickly the conversation goes from price to how quickly can we scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, wait, like this is happening fast. But the truth is, like, we can mobilize at such a speed. For example, I had a client that had a bit of an emergency because they're currently right now at a conference with some really high players, basically a conference full of their ideal clients. And they were not properly set up, particularly on their communication, like marketing communication and website. And it's like, well, how do we do this, right? And so I did an audit, and sure enough, this happens a lot. You have a very powerful founder with incredible communication skills.
Right.
Like they could just talk to an audience, and everybody would
they're comfortable with anybody, anytime,
completely
anywhere.
Right? Like a really like the I would call it like charming. Like, the literal meaning of charming. Like you are charmed by their demeanor, their beliefs. But none of the marketing matches that. The websites don't match. Social media don't match. The videos
Doesn't tell
don't
the
match.
story for what they're doing.
Yeah, you have to talk to them in person to
Right.
get that, otherwise not. So they have this very limited circle of influence. Well, this particular client needed to go from 0 to hero in,
Like overnight.
I'll tell you.
I think you should tell what you did, not who, but what you did, because it didn't take long.
4 days.
Yeah.
4 days.
Right.
So what we did is, as you can tell, we have a studio, and I have more than this studio. So we went to another studio where I actually had the tech ready. We had everything good to go. And it's like, all right, so what we're going to do is we're doing it. So we did it at the next day. We literally chatted. It's like, all right, let's meet tomorrow at 11. We did. And we sat down and had a conversation. We did the brand interview, which is part of my process.
Sure.
Let's get it out of your brain. If it's stuck in your head,
Yeah.
let's get it on paper, because nobody can read your mind. Everybody can read your papers.
Right.
So we use that to extract all this brand. We created content out of that interview. Then we turn around and use that brand strategy to then create the website strategy. We turned that and converted that into a written out wireframe form that we passed to one of my developers. And he is incredibly talented because he was able to do this quickly. And then we just spun out a landing page ready with capture, all written in the client's voice, with their values, cleaned up in turn. And then I was even able to send him his brand strategy and even have his
and so he had that for the show. That was like in 3 days from the time you started this process.
We started Friday, and
That's what I'm saying. And he had it in hand at show.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, I'm hesitant to say this because we started Friday and we were done Tuesday. Now, don't you go doing that. Please give me a week at least. That was nuts.
Yeah, hold it. Yeah, this is not ordinary.
We can do it.
More of this.
Yeah, next time there's a rush fee.
The rush fee.
But the speed of execution is incredible.
It is.
And now because of that, we're going to be able to hand it to a editor, and it's going to go on his YouTube channel, which I believe he's your client as well. So I'm going to pass you the YouTube channel.
Well,
and
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of what we do. And I think it's worth mentioning. Everybody asked me, and we got a comment up there. You might want to click it. Everybody asked me while you're looking at that, Jordan. They asked me, well, how do you and Jordan, aren't you all competitors? And I go, no, Jordan makes a ton more money than I do. No, I'm just kidding. What I usually do is, because I'm in a real narrow niche, the Google Business Profile on YouTube, Jordan's got the staff that can create the content for these guys. And a lot of times he'll either find them on their own and come back to me for the YouTube side, or I'll say, look, I've got a YouTube channel going and you're over there. I'm going to get you in this account to create the content so we can get it up on YouTube. So I'm always pushing people his way, and he's thinking about what we need to do. We've got several accounts that that you're sending me content for to put up on the YouTube. So
a lot of the time I get the brief from Herdy because like, hey, this content needs this, these, and these topics.
Right.
Great. Get in and let's just, get that.
And that's the beauty of it too, is we can, the other thing I was, one of the things I was going to say about the content thing is that I've been going in Gemini and going to certain business profiles like yours or whatever, right? And I ask it to tell me the top 20 things that the clients think about your business.
Yeah.
Not what you think, what they think. There's 20 things right there. You should create a landing page on your website that says what my clients think about me, list those, but better yet, go create little shorts. Customer testimonial shorts.
Yeah.
Just say, here's one of the things people think about me I never thought of.
Yeah. And it's just
amazing how
Yeah. Social proof is huge. Let's pause for a second. We have a little comment. Michael Jennings.
Hey, Herdy. It's Mike with DAV. I look forward to the new format. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's is that Eve? Is that not Eve? Is that that's not Noah, is it? No, Michael. Oh, hey, Michael, got it. All right. Yes, we're going to continue this, and as we get into Texas Buzz, and Jordan can help here with this discussion too. Is Jordan was really brilliant when he said, Herdy, we need to start showing people the how.
Yeah.
because the why is always out there,
Yeah.
and small businesses don't have time to do what we do. We're
Yeah.
research all the time. We're looking at tools. We're playing with them, experimenting with them, and then trying to push those out to our client base.
Yeah.
Well, what if we could help you a little?
Yeah.
And
just
and it
give
helps our brand because we're on air and we're getting noticed, but it helps you guys because we're giving you something you can start working with today.
Yeah, and that's a big part, just giving you the how, because we have limited availability. We can't help everybody, but through this, it goes through time, and you can get the tools. And I mean, not everybody's got the budget to bring in experts for everything. When you're starting, you got to roll up your sleeves. And if I can save you some time there, I'd love to.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I've always told, one of my niches was when I started in 2009. Is that I noticed that the small business person, even the ones that were established, were just like, they weren't even low-hanging fruit, because back then video production was $4,000 a minute.
Yeah.
Took months to edit. It could be a one-time pony, and then you changed your direction and you had to do it again. There was no such thing as posting. Everybody was a social media manager, and they were throwing stuff up against the wall, and it wasn't even targeted.
Yeah.
It was just, you know what I'm saying? So my niche became, I'm going to give these guys a voice. And I was the only one in that market.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to worry about what I charged. I didn't have to worry about what I was paid.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to keep it reasonable, but nobody wanted them because they didn't want to put up the pain of having to work directly with the owner,
Mm-hmm.
coaching them through processes, getting frustrated on both sides of the fence.
Well, that's where they excel at.
But that's what we love about marketing. Yeah. We love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we do.
Yeah, put your best foot forward. So let's see. If you're an established business and you've been in operations for a while, and now you're starting to feel the landscape shift a little. So I know a lot of businesses, most of the established businesses that I talk to, have a three main marketing channels.
Right.
Referrals, networking, and Google Ads.
I call the first two hustle circles.
Yeah.
Like if you were to draw an Amway circle, right? Here's your hustle circle.
Yeah.
Network meetings, you talk to people, you get referrals, you get leads that way. That's a real deal.
Yeah.
Pressing the flesh is always cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got this side of the fence.
Yeah.
Where everybody has a mobile device.
Yeah.
They're going right to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking for something every day, every minute. Product, service, person, people, things. So, you do the hustle thing, but I would say 80% of what's probably really done is probably done online.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I have had a lot of people lately come to me. Most of my leads come because they're not seeing performance on the Google Ads space.
Yeah.
They're starting to see a decrease in number of leads and quality of leads. They're starting to see a big downturn there. What do you have? What advice do you have for people experiencing?
I'm almost scared to answer that because it works for some. It doesn't work a lot for others, because I would say probably about 80% of people I used to deal with in the ad programs in the early days of doing this. I don't anymore. Just so you all know, don't call me about Google Ads. I don't have time. Weren't set up properly. They went in and picked the free, I got $150 worth of pay-per-click. They took it, didn't realize it was going to be gone in 2 days because a keyword could cost you $40 a day.
Yeah.
People were confused. They didn't know how to run the ad programs. They didn't know how to put negative keywords in, so they didn't get hit for using words that had nothing to do with their business.
Yeah.
And then the Google Guaranteed program came along, and I always just yell at Google in my head, because what started out as, I thought, a really beautiful program, where if you were like a local service, you could pick a zip code and you could target it with guaranteed ads, and you could pay a certain amount of money, and that certain amount of money guaranteed you a certain amount of leads. Well, it switched. Now they saturated it.
Yeah.
And you can put as much money as you want in it, and you still may not get the cost per lead. So I tell people, Well, there's other places to go. They could come to you, and they could really get into the metrics and into the Facebook side.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people refer people there. Let's face it. But again, they need an expert to do that, because you can get all screwed up on Facebook too, because they give you so many options. Boost something.
Yeah.
Boost what? My picture? Boost. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
you can always.
So I think there's other alternatives here.
I'll give you two
and I
things
think YouTube advertising is effective. I really do. I think that's where, if I was going to put my money into YouTube ads, it would be on YouTube.
Yeah. Because
even if you skip them, you're still getting bombarded by brands.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a guaranteed brand recognition, which is, I love that you bring that up. I think whenever you're, not all marketing is created equal. You should look at second order consequences.
Yeah.
Which is where I think a lot of people miss out on this. When you're doing with marketing, you got to make sure that you have second order and third order consequences built into your strategy. Now, this sounds fancy talk. Let me boil it down to the simple ways. Like, what you want is, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing with marketing, first is trying to achieve your objective, which your objective should be to make money with marketing. That's what it's for.
Yes.
You should get brand recognition.
Yes.
And staying top of mind.
Yes.
You should make sure that those three are happening. If those three are not present in your strategy, then it's a very expensive strategy, typically reserved for whenever you have extra money to throw at things.
Yeah.
So now with that, that's why I get on people when they do do keywords for pay-per-clicks. Pay-per-click, you can hijack somebody's purchase intent. So you can make money with it. It achieves one. Do you get brand equity from a blue link?
Well, and you're not seeing them. So until they figure out how they're going to incorporate it,
yes,
that day's over.
Are you staying top of mind with that?
I still think keywords are important.
Yeah.
But mainly from what you're trying to do in your reviews and snippets and your posting, but they're not the factor. You shouldn't be thinking into everything's about keywords.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, on the Google, Google ads, well, YouTube ads are Google ads. It's part of that whole ecosystem.
It's part of their
but
ecosystem.
I like to focus specifically on those Google ads.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you which one I love. You can buy different kinds.
Yep.
The one that I prefer is the 30-second ad that you can skip after 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because what I do is I create a 6-second ad that plays for 30 seconds.
Oh, come on, man. You loop it?
No, I don't even loop it.
You just make it. Okay, I
make sure that in those first 6 seconds, and the thing is, now I've gotten so good at the 3-second hook because
that's
social,
it. The 3-second hook's it. Yeah.
That now you give me 6 seconds, and I'm like, that's an eternity. Like,
yeah,
I gotta hook people, and honestly, it's in 0.8 seconds to intrigue, and then 3 seconds to hook.
Right.
It's typically 6 seconds to retain, and YouTube gives me 6 seconds to begin with.
Right.
Like, for real. And then after that is 30 seconds of whatever. Right.
Yep.
And I'll tell you who turned me on to this strategy was Geico. Because Geico did this brilliant set of commercials where they said, Geico can save you money in 6 seconds of less. So in less seconds of this commercial,
they played on it and made it YouTube friendly, right?
Yes, so
instead of their main like national TV, right?
And it was a setting, and then people froze, like they were in a family, like a 50s family dinner. It's like, it'll be faster than this commercial, and they would stop there, and people would just freeze. But you could tell people were just not moving, and then the dog would like start eating the food off the table, and they just climb up, and everybody's just watching. 30 seconds of just silliness.
You know, Jordan, you bring up an important point, because I was thinking the other day, I was watching YouTube and the ads were popping up on the big screen. And I was thinking, if I had a chip brand, I would just show the bag. Herdy's chips. And that's all I do. I would just run a 2-3 second little and just keep posting it, let it run. And people looking up food, bakery are seeing this.
Yes. And you hit a perfect point. People get confused with marketing, and I just said this today, is whenever marketing needs to be very like intelligent, brilliant, it's when you have a shitty product. That's when you have to get creative.
That's very good. Thank you.
My son yesterday, we went to the Nike outlet store because feet are growing like weeds, so they like his shoes already don't fit again. So it's like, right, let's get you a new pair. Can't have you running with shoes that are half your size. So we went there, but I had to go to the bathroom. So we went to the bathroom, and it's if you ever been to the outlet in Grand Prairie, like the bathrooms are down this really long
it's
hallways.
a real long hallway, yeah.
And every like 10 feet they had a Coca-Cola like picture frame.
Yeah.
With Coca-Cola, and then right outside of the bathroom I had a Coca-Cola vending
You can't
machine.
miss it.
And my son's like, why is Coca-Cola everywhere? Like, why are they in the bathroom? And why are they here? Whether there's like, why do they have ads everywhere? And I'm like, son, it's because they're trying to convince you that drinking a dark sludge liquid that bubbles, that comes in a plastic bottle, is somehow supposed to make you happy.
And they've convinced you.
And so they need to spend a lot of money marketing that, because when you really think about it, that is about as unnatural as it gets. Would you ever drink a cup of black stuff? Like, no, that sounds
cleans
gross.
batteries.
Yes, it does.
I know.
You're supposed to drink it.
Right.
So they need to spend
All
all
marketing,
this
right?
marketing money for
All
that.
the brand marketing, right?
Exactly. So that's why they have to get to that point. Like business owners, like, we don't need to do that. We have real value.
Right.
However, getting the brand in quickly is really important.
Yeah.
You said you would run a chip bag, and that's all you would do is just put that. Do you want to know what the best performing Super Bowl commercial ever was?
Doritos?
No, it was Miller High Life.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yes.
And what it was is during the Super Bowl, they put the best commercials that you could just put out there. So what they did is they bought the smallest airtime possible. They wanted a second. They couldn't do that. I think the closest they could get was 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So the ads are going through, and then it goes to black, and then there's a guy that goes, "High Life," and then it goes back.
And
to
it's
black.
over.
That was it.
That's it.
It is to date the best performing Super Bowl commercial ever.
And it's sometimes always the simplest thing it does really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And messaging to people needs to be simple, right? Yeah. And that's why another thing I was trying to catch my thought. You gave me something to ask you, and that's what I was going to say. So when I'm in a YouTube account and somebody says, "Will you help me with an ad program on YouTube?" That's when I call this guy, because he has a team in place to work through that. And so I can say, "Hey, Jordan, you need to go over and get married to this guy because he wants to run it, and I think he's a good candidate for this." But that's the only place I would be running ads.
Yeah, I agree. If you're going to drop some Google ad dollars, that's
the place to do it. If you can afford to do it, that's the place to do it.
And because you told me this is phenomenal. Like now, over 50% of YouTube watchers are doing it on their living room TV.
Big screens,
television.
Okay, you ready? Big screen now, TV outpaces mobile views. Now the big screen, I'm telling you, I don't know what people do, but when I want to go research and watch somebody like the Desert Drifter that walks through the Mojave and looks for ancient, I mean, there is so much information on YouTube. I could live just a YouTube channel, simply because of all the information that's there.
Yeah, and
I try to tell businesses all the time, Jordan. I think the last stat I saw 2 years ago, it's probably increased a little bit, is only 9% of small businesses utilize YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm in a niche.
Yeah.
Evangelizing one at a time, right? It's they're lazy, or they need somebody to do it for them, and they just don't know who to call because they don't know who they trust. Yeah. So we can solve that for you.
Yeah. And I think one of the barriers too is, the truth is, I mean, we're going to be running stuff on YouTube. You're going to produce YouTube ads. You're talking about video production. It is expensive.
It is.
It's way more affordable it's ever been. It is the cheapest it has ever been. But it's still expensive. Yeah. It's still not something that you could just be like, "Oh, let's just, give it a shot. If it works, and if it doesn't. It needs to be a conscious investment."
Yeah, but when you say expensive compared to what? Because I always used to say to my customers, they go, "Well, that's expensive." I go, "Compared to what?"
Yeah.
Because think about how Google takes a YouTube ad and places it on your behalf to the people searching for similar things, and they put it in the right place for you. Yeah. You couldn't get that on TV. TV was really broad. They just broadcast it on the local news channel, and everybody had to be watching, sees it. Well, YouTube targets.
Yeah.
Targets. So you can say, well, that's really expensive. Well, okay, great. But you know what? It's targeting a group of people searching for certain things that Google thinks that applies to.
Yeah. And it's remarkably good.
And so you can get measurement.
One of the targetings that you could do with on the ads section, which I'm curious how this like goes with your YouTube clients, is there's a way to set preferences so you can appear on the pre-rolls that are happening or the ads in between that are inserted between episodes that match whatever that content is.
Yeah, so you don't want to get caught, but you got to be careful with that. So, but I do think that you could. I've done this in the past. I had a podcast back in Austin that was sponsored by a money manager.
Yeah,
and so we did 5 second, 6 second, 10-second video clips. Hi, Mike O'Neill, and I'm your financial book manager.
Yeah.
He sponsored the whole channel. So I would say halfway through the recording, because we recorded them back then, I'd say, "Oh, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor."
Yeah,
and then I'd say we're back. And when I go back and edit it, I'd stick it in there and put it on YouTube. I do it as an insert.
As an insert,
and hopefully YouTube wouldn't come back and nitch my
get that. Oh no! Now you can actually do that. You can put ads on your
which
own
is
channel.
really cool.
Yeah. No, what I'm talking about is, for example, like we're doing this podcast right now. Once this goes into the archive,
right?
Or moving forward, what we're going to do is we're going to take the live one, then we're going to download the StreamYard feed. We're going to edit it and then publish it as a published show,
right?
With we'll with cutouts. For example, here where we're doing the demo, I'll take the B-roll from the thing, so you can see what's happening. It'll be a more produced show.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about this stuff. Well, I bet you while we're doing this, a Gemini paid subscription ad will come up in the ad inserts.
Absolutely.
Because our channel talks about AI and how to implement it. So it will do that. I bet Base 44 is going to come up as well. They advertise a lot on YouTube. All that will show up in during or broadcast because they are targeting interest in business and AI.
Right.
We talk about that. So then Google does that. So similarly, for example, a plumbing company, if you want to you can localize these searches to zip codes. So let's say you're a plumber in Mansfield and you are starting to get I don't know, like maybe we're starting to get some foundation leaks because of the changing weather.
Yeah.
And somebody is
you got a leak
looking on YouTube how to tell if you have a foundation leak. You go to YouTube University and be like, how could I figure that out? That search intent on that content, you as a plumber can put your ad about foundation leaks as pre-roll to that video that you're searching for in just the Mansfield area. That's how niche you can get with this stuff. And
I'll give you another example. Back in the day, when we had big hailstorms here.
Yeah.
So back in 2011, there was a pretty big one, or there's been a bunch, but there's a pretty big one down in Austin. I was managing a roofing company's YouTube channel. So I went over to a paid site and I bought a 6-second red car sitting in front of a house getting pounded by gorilla-sized hail. And the person going, "Oh my God." And we posted that right after the hailstorm on YouTube. And they said, if you got hit by this crap, call us. It went crazy.
Yes.
So I'm saying, very specific things. That's what I love about it. So good thought. And that's another thing. Those keywords on titles on YouTube count.
Yeah. Yeah, getting that.
I haven't figured out how YouTube yet is totally. They're so focused on the normal way people get information. It seems like they're leaving kind of YouTube kind of alone a little bit. They're still making big changes with shorts and adding tools and bells and whistles. But the titles, descriptions, mega tags, all that still seem to be pretty darn important. Yeah. Location.
And they got to be indexing the transcripts now. So the whole whole conversation has to be mine for keywords.
Yeah, they are. And so, well, okay, we talked about that. The other thing is I haven't given up yet on organic search.
Mhm.
I think that the measurement and the ad thing is really a big deal, but I still think that the organic stuff is still going to be relevant.
Mhm.
You hear a lot of people saying, oh, organic's gone. It is. It's dropped off, and
Mhm.
it's dropped off a lot. There's no doubt. But I think you can work around that some to keep yourself within the reach of the visibility. But let's face it, you're going to have to start considering other things,
Yeah.
some ads, because I think you're going to need a mix. I don't think you can just get away with just being strictly posting. And you said this a million times, which is going to lead to this question. Jordan says it's all-time network meeting. Why are you just posting the post?
Yeah. It doesn't work. We're like, the golden
but a
days
lot
are
of
over.
people think it does. So explain what you mean by that, because you've often said, oh, posting to post. And I often said, wow, that's really kind of enlightening, because that's how people do it.
Yeah.
They'll just throw an image up and they don't care what it means to the public, right?
Yes. Yeah, the golden days are gone. We used to live in a time where, back in the heydays, if you post more often, the algorithm would give you its blessing and increase your reach.
Exactly.
Now we've moved to an interest-based algorithm. So the best way to tell people is, if the algorithm doesn't like your content, the best way to diagnose it is change the word algorithm for people, and you have the diagnosis. Algorithm doesn't like your content. People don't like your content.
That's a good way to word it.
So posting
point blank, by the way, point blank.
Posting just to post doesn't work.
No.
It is because there needs to be value. Like, you can't just put out junk mail on social media and create the equivalent of junk social, because it's not going to get any reactions. It's not going to get engagement. It's not going to get distribution.
You'd be better off to limit that.
Yeah. It is much better for you to put one quality piece of post a week
than it is to put 10 things that just fly by the feed and don't do anything.
I mean, you could look at all these companies that give you the social media management package, right? We'll do X amount of posts. And I mean, unless you have a really strong strategy to be able to fill that in, posting to hit a certain volume is not going to do anything favorable for your business.
Right. Agreed.
So instead, I love your approach. Answer questions.
AEO.
Yeah. The EAT acronym is excellent. So look at whatever you have an expertise on. Look at it. You post about your experiences through a project.
Right.
So EA is
authority, and then trustworthiness.
What do you know? What are your subject matter experts? Share that authority. Right. And the T is trustworthiness. Yeah, and I mean that happens after.
So, and let's think of that from a content standpoint. Does EAT mean the people, or does EAT mean they want to see content with those things?
Well, I think that I would find that content interesting.
It does. It works both ways, but Google's even saying that they're more interested in presenting the right kind of answers to questions. It's not about, hi, I'm Herdy and I'm great at Google.
Yeah. That
to them is about the most untrustworthy thing you can say to an audience, right? It's like, I know everything. I don't.
That makes me think
so
of
that goes down a road, doesn't it?
You know what?
That goes down a dirt road, doesn't it? We're good. We keep talking.
It's
a farewell show.
Let's get some. And we're totally priming the Texas buzz here coming up.
Right.
So let's ask the audience.
Huh?
Let's ask the audience, like, what do you want to know?
Yeah. So in the next couple of weeks, you see my email. We'll put Jordan's up in the description too.
Well, we have Texas. We have TexasBus.us.
Right, but we've got to get the channel set up. But in the meantime, if in the description under this one, I'll put both our emails. What we'd like to see is what things really interest you.
Yeah.
From a business standpoint that you think would help your business.
Yeah.
Just kind of come up with some what, how, why, where kind of questions, right?
What would you like to learn?
And we'll address them.
what would you like to leverage? What are you afraid of? What are some of your fears
Everything.
that the new technology is happening?
Everything.
Some of us are worried we're going to be irrelevant. So
Yeah. So in time, some will.
yeah,
Even the Herdies of the world will probably be because there'll be so much education online for how to do stuff. But there's always, and that goes back to the
Yeah.
eat. Experience matters.
but
Experience matters.
I don't think so, because you're really smart. So the pivot that we're doing now, where we're taking this really, really complex technology and bringing it to a level where you could just apply it on your day-to-day business.
Right.
That's what's going to keep us relevant.
Well, it is, and it keeps us in. And people want to know why we do stuff like this is because, number one, everybody in the world is trying to get into podcasting because they realize having a voice in a noisy world is better than just throwing stuff up against the wall.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put light kits in and do a couple things, to make it pretty cool.
Get some fancy couches.
Get some fancy chairs. These chairs I love this, by the way. He's sitting in that taller chair.
It's so much better.
I'm not even uncomfortable at this point, right? And it feels more natural sitting like this close to you too. Yeah. So it's really cool.
Anymore.
Right. So my whole feeling is that it's just better to have people see your face. Get a feel for their personality, get a feel for their genuineness. People can tell when you care about something.
Yeah.
And if you don't care, you can see arrogance a mile away.
Yeah. And
arrogance is the biggest crappy thing marketers can do. I don't know if you remember the show KRP with, it's an older TV sitcom. There was a salesman in there by the name of Herb.
Okay.
And everything was guaranteed. Oh, we'll take care of you.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Yes, I know the guarantees. Yep. That reminds me. 2 things you should never put your money on is when somebody guarantees you 1 million views.
Run.
I hope you know that you could go on Facebook,
buy some sketchers and run.
Hit boost.
Yeah.
And you can do that too. Like you could just put.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, like just find a post. Like if it's a really bad post, maybe you have to put $1,000, but you can get 1 million views. Like it is not hard.
Yeah.
Somebody promised you 1 million views. You could literally buy those with one button. Don't do that.
And that's another thing. Don't base everything on the measurement of just views. You've got to look into how long something was looked at. You've got to look in the engagement. There's a whole lot of factors that go into what makes a good piece of content, right?
Yeah, and the views are not.
And we've all put terrible content out and went, "Oh, I thought that'd be good," and it ended up sucking really bad.
And on the contrary, sometimes you put something that's like, "I'm not sure about this one," it just blows up.
Yeah,
but it's what happens after those views that matters, right?
Right.
The other one is leads. When somebody guarantees you 1,000 leads, like,
bye.
Oh my God, I can guarantee you 1,000 leads. Just give me the link that you want to collect them from, and then we're gonna put a post. Be like, hey, it's free.
maybe that's one of the podcasts we need to do. The top 10 things you should run from.
Right.
How cool would that be?
Yes.
And we can name those and go through why.
The top 10. The top 10
guaranteed placement on Google.
Yes.
First page.
Yes.
Number 1.
Yes. Yeah. I know. Like especially now with the AEO ones, it's like we guarantee you'll rank on like that. ChatGPT.
Like, I actually bumped into a client. Not gonna name it. That hired me that said I had somebody come in and tell me that they could guarantee me top position in AI because they understood AEO and GEO.
Yeah.
And I went, how much did they want? $2,000 a month.
Well, I mean, that's the same SEO model, of course.
Right, but they're thinking in terms of old search.
Yeah.
Like if we just put enough keywords in and throw it at the wall, it's eventually going to stick.
Yes.
Well, how about those reviews that they're pulling from? What about that?
Want to hear a scary statistic?
No, but yes.
So when search and SEO used to work, what happened is, on average, a good performing page would get about out of 7 searches.
Yeah,
you get 1 visitor.
Yes,
that's when SEO was doing its thing.
That's about right.
7 searches, you get a visitor. You have your keywords, you optimize for what you're doing, and people are searching it. Right. 7. started like losing performance. Then we got to 17 searches. Then we got to, it started getting to the hundreds, like 100 search, because it's dropped, especially as, we started getting the blue links that push the normal search down.
Right.
Then we AI overviews came. Do you know what that got bumped it into? Now,
But
every 800 searches for one visitor. Now that we're trying to rank on AEO, right? Like everybody's like, AEO, rank on ChatGPT and all that. You know how many searches or how many mentions you need on ChatGPT or Gemini for a visit?
a lot.
I think the last one was 15,000
Okay.
for one visitor.
Which scares me, because you know why it scares me? Because my feeling is that some of these AI ranking, not AI, I'm not going to use, let's get rid of the word ranking.
Yeah.
Let's just say overviews, because I hate, those
Yeah.
are old words I should not be using anymore.
Yeah.
So my concern is that those people that are getting those AI overviews are going to stay there because they got themselves up there in the forefront and they're still good information. How do you kick their ass?
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure how you do that. So we're working on it.
Yeah. Well, I just want people to understand like where you're putting your money, what you're getting
Yeah.
out, right? Like when you were dropping SEO, when it used to be, back then it was 1,500, which
It
is
was
probably
easy.
2,500 now.
It was easy.
We're talking about like early 2000s money.
Right.
You were enabling your business to show up 1 out of 7 searches.
Yes.
That was money well spent.
Yes.
When somebody's coming now and telling you you're going to rank on AEO, even if you get ChatGPT to quote you directly, you're still looking at a website visit one every 14 to 15,000
Think about
mentions.
that. Think about that.
Yes.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes our work really hard but fun, because we get to figure it out. And I think the more we get into this, the more we're going to figure out.
Well, if you're going to be putting those $2,000 or $3,000 a month on that, like, why don't you create some good videos, put them on YouTube?
Or
YouTube click-through rate is so much higher than that.
Put them on some of their video platforms. Heck,
Yeah.
for that matter, post them on LinkedIn and get the ad program going.
B2B and LinkedIn. LinkedIn's conversion rates are phenomenal.
And they're running ad programs.
Yeah.
And very few people know how to run them or do them. I'm trying to learn about them. I don't want to run them, but I want to be educated on how they work.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing running paid ads on LinkedIn.
yeah, I'm good.
And letting the organic,
it's good to know that,
section
you'll
to
get
other
another lead.
experts.
Then you'll get another lead, because I got clients that need your help.
Yes,
I already have people ask me, what can we do on LinkedIn? I go, I don't know yet. I'm figuring it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should teach them how to set up their business LinkedIn, because everybody has their personal. It's like, you can set up a business.
Yeah.
too.
It's too bad that when they were just LinkedIn before Microsoft bought them, your profile was your business. And a lot of people like myself established ourselves really early in the game. I was on LinkedIn as early as 2001.
Wow.
Oh, I was on it early.
I feel like they should give you a badge for that. Right.
Whatever. But yeah, give me a patch, damn it. I get walking patches. So the thing is that then all of a sudden they come with premium and you can go build a brand account. So do I want to divide my kingdom at this point? No, but for new people coming in, they should get the premium account.
Yeah. I've heard that from a lot of people, that just premium.
They're just too scared to go back and rearrange everything because they've got such a following. I mean, you got 1,500, 2,000 people following.
Now, pragmatic business advice. You want to test it out? Go for it. Actually, I do encourage you to try the paid account. Don't buy the whole year.
Yeah, just do the trial.
Do the trial and then pay for it monthly, even though it's more expensive. See what happens after 3 months before you buy a whole year for something you're only going to use for 3 months.
Agreed. And see if you like it or not. But there are some advantages. Yeah. You get to see who hits your profile.
Yeah.
Which is really kind of cool, because they block that now. They may give you some teasers, but you can see the people, and then you can figure out how you want to connect with them.
Yeah.
LinkedIn's turning into quite the property through Microsoft. And I imagine Microsoft built LinkedIn so they can scrape from it.
Yeah.
So they can help with the ChatGPT. It's all a big world, okay?
If you see, like, I've been trying to scrape LinkedIn and I've failed miserably, the guardrails that they put against the scraping data for LinkedIn are insane.
Well, think about it. Look at all the people there, and think about ChatGPT's using, the Microsoft Bing and pulling all their data.
That's what they protected.
Well, now that LinkedIn data becomes pull in, and that doesn't include the postings that they're getting from outsources like articles, like search engines, and people that are posting on it. They get that too because it was automatically posted on their platform.
Yep. It's getting phenomenal. Like,
Right.
it's rocket territory, but it's also really exciting. I think
Yeah,
for the people paying attention, they stand to gain so much.
I agree. Well, we're running a little short, but let's do this. I want to thank really all these for 2 years.
Mhm.
We've had tons of small business
Yeah.
come on with us weekly, and I'm going to tell you the channel is going to be great because we're going to keep producing shorts, and Jordan and I in the next couple of weeks are going to think in how we want to manage that.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to do is create a whole new brand with Texas and start over subscribers. We're hoping you'll come over for the buzz,
Yeah.
but we're thinking about doing one Mansfield Buzz broadcast a month and highlighting that business heavily for that whole month.
Yeah.
And we'll think about the money thing. Won't be much more expensive. We want to keep that rolling and have some shorts going, and I can go back and add shorts.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know. I mean, I actually do think we might make it more expensive because I want to roll into with a camera crew.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But my point is we should highlight one business a month, maybe do some B-roll with them before we come on, then place it in the show, talk about, behind the scenes stuff, and then do the interview.
Yeah, talk about the origin, what they're doing, where they're heading now.
Right.
Like, really give it the space that it needs.
It puts us in a lot more work, but if we can make it worth our while and we can convince small business it's worth it, because we have the production ability now to really, with you and the team, to really put some cool, really take that to the next level and really highlight and spotlight one business. And my other thing is, I don't know if Steve's listening today or not. I would like to find out if Steve would be willing to send us a short clip of what he's doing, covering weekly on his podcast Mansfield or Mansfield podcast, and let him just throw a 30-second of what's going on in Mansfield.
Yeah.
And put it in that week, in that broadcast.
Yeah. Give a little bit of a.
So I'm going to just chat with him. So that's what we're working on, and we're going to get the Texas Buzz launched in the next month or so.
Yeah. The big goal is to have something that is going to support small, medium-sized businesses, and we love the state of Texas, so that will be our focus.
We love technology, so we can't. And Jordan and I just can't get away from it. So
it's part of what we do every day.
It's our bones and our flesh and so for us not to talk about it, what I hope is we convince you guys that we can reduce the jargon and make it as simple as possible. And when we start showing you how to do something like we did today,
yes, we'll have
it'll make sense.
A practical workshop portion of it. Tell you a newsfeed of what's coming. Highlight of prominent Texas businesses that are leveraging this technology.
We may even on the live show already have that pre-recorded, and then just insert it as part of the insert on the show. So we have all sorts of ways to go.
I would even love to take some challenges. It's like, hey, try to do this.
Yeah, or give us something. Tell us what you're struggling with, like we asked. Just start throwing questions at us and give us a couple weeks to really start digging into that, because we're going to give you some good information. Yeah. Between us two, no doubt, we can solve. And if we don't know it, and we're going to probably try to get some real uppity, what I call uppity, I don't mean arrogant. I mean, there's some real genius people out there that it'd be worth talking to.
I know, right? Like, if we can't solve it, we'll call Sam. Like, hey, Sam, you need to get started here.
Oh, by the way, let's tell our story about Sam real quick before we get off.
Okay.
So yesterday, Jordan came, Sam came. Sam, I hope he doesn't mind. You think he'll mind me telling the story?
No, not at all. But tell the people who Sam is.
Okay, why don't you?
Okay,
because you're closer. You work with him quite a bit.
Yeah, I talk to him too much. I know I'm going to talk about him. Sam's a really good friend. He's an operations consultant, very successful man. He has built countless businesses, and what I like about him is he's been very successful and he's been very unsuccessful. So he knows what it takes to. Yeah,
and he talks about it.
Totally honest about it. He knows what you should do to tank a business and what you should do to sell a business for a profit, for a really nice profit. So he's got really good experience. He's got a very, what I tell him is a wonderfully underdeveloped filter.
Yeah.
So he'll tell you everything like it is. He's a good friend of ours, and we just naturally gravitated because he's more in the operations side of business. And when you get to know people that
challenges you.
Yeah. And
he really does.
Just people like that, we're like magnets. We're like, hey, let's hang out.
Yeah.
So this time we decided to connect to experience something very very new for Sam, which was
Root beer float.
he had never tried a root beer float.
He never had a root beer float. So we went to Market Street, and I went back and bought those pints of the homemade vanilla Bluebell. I bought A&W, which is what I had as a kid when they put in a frosty mug. I just wish I'd had frosty mugs. Yeah. And we went over and we opened them up. I bought a little dipper thing. We got cups from the girl behind us at the counter was just like laughing because she saw what we're getting ready to do. She says, I got cups. I got the straws and spoons. This will be fun. So he had his first root beer float. What do you think?
God. It was awesome.
He loved
it. Good. It was so good. I hadn't had a root beer float, especially with A&W. Like, it took me back to childhood.
It does. You're just sitting there thinking, man, after baseball games or sports, we used to go A&W and they had their little stores. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So we thought we'd throw that story in.
Yeah.
So any farewells, Jordan, to the businesses? What did we learn?
Man, we have learned tenacity, just the sheer willpower and courage that all these businesses have taken a leap. This majority of them came from either a retirement, but mostly a layoff. Mm-hmm. The big shattering of the illusion of security that the W-2 world gives you, and then just plunging head on into what it is, entrepreneurship and business owning, and then just that courage and tenacity to do it, and to see that story repeated over and over again. And especially the ones that we talked to that are now far into the years of success. So encouraging that I hope everybody got to see that and get hopeful, because it's doable. You can do it. We can do it. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, that I'm going to go right down the same, as we finish up here, I'm going to go right down the same road. I learned that I wasn't alone in the struggles I went through when I started mine. I'm hearing things and going back to my nightmare days of when it started, not being organized, not knowing exactly what to do, reading books, throwing stuff against the wall. It was terrible. But what I learned was really seeing the tenacity of some of these small businesses that were willing to step out, throw the money at it, and try to really figure it out, and even reached out for help, right? And we're smart enough to say, I can't do this on my own. I got to figure this out. I need help. So, and of course, from my standpoint of working with doing these interviews was, man, making friends.
Yeah.
There's not one single person, Jordan, that on these interviews that we did, we couldn't call up and go have dinner with, and it would be just like we've known each other for years.
Better yet, a root beer float.
But better yet, a root beer float. Don't get me into this ice cream gig.
Coming soon, Hurdy Burke's root beer channel.
Yeah, well, yes, thank you. Maybe, if I have time. I would love to do that, but I just don't know how to do it yet. I have to figure it out. So
yeah, I'd love to do that too. I don't know if just like diabetes would be a serious concern.
Yeah, it'd be like, well, Hurdy's on some medication now.
Long-term effects of root beer.
My doctor said, stop it. But it's a podcast. I'm stuck.
My subscribers.
Right. We'll give it to my AI assistant.
Right.
We'll let him drink it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for being a part of the Mansfield Buzz. Jordan, any final thoughts? Any farewells?
This has been a blessing. Thank you, everybody, for coming along. We'll see what the next chapter looks like, but this last 2 years have been phenomenal.
We've had fun. We've made a great friendship out of it. So,
thank you, Hurdy. This has
you're
been
welcome, brother.
An incredible journey.
Whoever thought that we'd meet in a network group meeting and our worlds the thread would connect us, and look where it's gone.
I know.
Beautiful. Cool story. All right. Do you want to take now? Let me ask you something. Do you want to say, I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. Farewell. Do you want to take us out with our Mansfield intro?
Mansfield intro.
And play it real quick, and then we'll stop the play after it's over. So we'll wave goodbye to everybody that's going to come in watching on demand. Yeah, live is.
Yeah. Do you want the slow one or the fast one?
You play whatever one you want, Jordan. It's your gig. I like yours too. I like that one.
Let's play the slow one. I hope somebody cries.
Because it goes slow, right?
Yes. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Welcome to Mansfield Buzz with Jordan and Hurdy. Local business stories. Let's dive in early. Jordan asks the questions, bring stories to life. Heard he runs a tech, keeps production tight. Build trust in uptown, discover and explore hidden gems and stores you never heard before. Community connection, that's what we're about. Tune in, join us, see what Mansfield's all about.